watching all of these super charged jokes.
Yes.
Perhaps racist.
We didn't watch the roast of Kevin.
We don't need to.
I hear it was actually very funny.
Depends
And it
who
was
you ask.
it was intense, and the jokes were heavy hitters.
Yeah, depends who you ask. But Dr. Omar reciting all of these jokes with like, he's got no delivery of a comedian. He's not trying to be funny. He's trying to be like, how dare these
Tell me tell me who Dr. Umar is.
I know him as Dr. Omar, but
Omar?
Umar. Maybe it is Umar. Maybe I got it wrong. Basically, he is that character from In Living Color.
Okay.
The black consciousness character.
Yeah.
You can't say anything to. You can't say a word to this person.
And you've been aware of Dr. Umar for
He's
a while.
meme. He's been a meme forever. Whenever someone will post them with their white girlfriend, someone will post a Dr. Omar meme in the comments.
Like looking disappointed.
Like, don't do that. It always makes me laugh. I'm mixed. I don't care. Like, I don't have any skin in the game. I just think it's hilarious.
Yes. Literally, he just wrote down and read and reacted to every joke from the roast that was told at a black person.
Yeah.
And there were some that were like, okay, I think, if you're not a comedy person, if you don't understand edgy comedy and you're not interested in it, first of all, this isn't for you.
It wasn't fun. It wasn't comedy. It was racist.
There were a few that were a little
need to do that.
insensitive, but they were very funny. I think like most of them seemed funny enough. Again, I didn't see them delivered by the person delivering them. I only saw Dr. Umar reading them.
Yeah, I don't think they were as funny as delivered by Dr. Omar, because when you look at the jokes, some of the jokes are like, meh, that's not great. But the Kevin Hart, what was the one? His ancestors came here in a slave ship in a bottle.
He said Kevin's ancestors came to America on a slave ship in a bottle. Kevin's ancestors came to America in a slave ship in a bottle, Art. Obviously talking about him being small.
That is so funny. And his complete indignation that anyone would joke about something like that. And then he goes on to explain the joke a lot of the time.
The joke, explains the joke. Like, no, we get it. You're the one who's just heard of a roast, sir. We all know what a roast is.
Because who would sit up there and laugh at themselves being humiliated by racist white people? Let me continue, Art.
That's what a roast is. And he called it like a digital or comedic lynching. And it's like, no, that's not the same thing. No.
Now, having not seen the roast, if it is as Dr. Umar describes it, it was literally just a bunch of white comics going up and making black jokes. But I think it was like 3.5 hours long, and I'm pretty sure he read every edgy black joke.
Yeah. There were other people involved. Chelsea Handler's got her own drama.
And every time he kept saying after like half of the jokes, he'd say, "This is because of Drewski doing whiteface, pretending to be Erica Kirk."
This was a get back for Drewski portraying Erica Kirk. But I don't have a problem with what Drewski did, Art.
Now there's a war from these white comedians against black people. And I'm like, I don't know if that's what it is. I think it's just a roast.
Drewski hasn't come up at all. We live in the whitest town. No one has mentioned Drewski once. I don't think.
Can you imagine we're at the general store down there buying milk, and they're like, "Did you see what Drewski did? I couldn't sleep at night with what Drewski did." But I mean, also that, like, there was that Charlie Kirk joke that is like the joke everybody's talking about for the most part.
What I love about Dr. Umar is that he'd be like, there was a terribly offensive joke told from a white person to a white person. That's none of my business.
It's none of my business. If white people want to talk like that to each other, it's none of my business.
But you don't talk like that to black people. Which means, like, what do you mean you can't include black people in roasts?
Yeah, it's so like, why are you infantilizing these? Like, these are adults. They like edgy comedy. Leave them alone.
They're friends.
And if you want to boycott Netflix, fine. I don't think these roasts should be on Netflix, because this. We talked about that after the roast a lot, because it's like all these people who are like so flabbergasted by this type of comedy. Maybe is this like the biggest profile? I guess they've been bigger since they've been like off of Comedy Central or whatever. Like Netflix is such a catch-all. They're trying to be everything for everyone. So for something this controversial to be front and center on the platform, it is bringing in people who aren't prepared for this type of comedy.
Yeah, I guess. No, that is true, but I think what they're doing is they're making it like a cultural event.
Yeah.
And my conspiracy brain goes to like, oh, this is the Super Bowl all again.
Yeah.
There's something really important going on, and they're having us focus on this absolute bullshit.
Sure. That's probably more important, but let's stay in this pocket. Because I do respect...
I'll link the video at the bottom.
I unsubscribed from Netflix a few months ago, not because of this. This is one of those things that Netflix does which makes me respect it, because you're right. It's a cultural thing. They're trying to make this a cultural moment, but they didn't dumb it down and water it down so it's not the thing that it is anymore. You know what I mean?
Maybe they'll have a warning at the beginning.
Yes.
Like they did with Mad Men, that episode of Mad Men that was going to be so offensive that you would die if you saw it without a warning. So they should put a warning at the beginning that's like, guys, this is a roast. And rather than warning anybody, they should just define what a roast is.
They should. Just the definition of a roast, black screen, white text. This is what a roast is. This is what it's always been.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about things that are deeply uncomfortable. We're going to put trigger warnings on these. But that's... So it seems like we are at the same time, everybody has their own media sources, and... everything is for everyone. You know what I mean? Like, I can't keep those two things in mind. I'm having a hard time parsing those two things.
Don't push it all away and focus on the raised beds we got growing out back.
We do got some raised beds.
Yeah,
and some stuff
because
came up since last week.
Yeah, those radishes will grow quick. But this is what they do.
Some radishes is thick.
No, and they also grow thick close together.
Yeah,
So if you're into radishes, you can grow radishes pretty easy.
Don't know why we made them. I don't like them, but that's fine.
I like a radish. Anyway. The point is that something important is going on, and they're trying to distract us with this pop culture bullshit like they do every single time something important is going on. So apparently Dr. Umar was really upset that they kept going after Cheryl Underwood, who is a black comedian. They kept talking about her looks. She looks good looking enough to me.
Cheryl Underwood, the donkey from Shrek, and then he says, Cheryl's pronouns are he/her, not her. With her and she are, but he/her, like a donkey.
What I thought was kind of offensive is they made fun of her husband committing suicide.
Well,
she was okay with it.
That's what made everybody very uncomfortable.
Yeah, she was okay with it, and everybody else was mad about it.
Well, she talks about it in her comedy.
Yeah. Chelsea Handler's gone on a few podcasts talking about, I can't believe they made these jokes, but apparently Shane Gillis had called her the night before and asked if he could make the joke, and she said okay.
Yes.
And so now...
Not Chelsea Handler. Shane Gillis called...
Chelsea Handler has nothing to do with this.
What's her name again?
Cheryl Underwood.
Yeah.
And asked if this was okay. She said it was okay.
Well, she talks about it in her own comedy. So it's kind of like, it seems as if she's willing to joke about it.
So I heard that she's going to get a comedy special through Netflix, and I didn't hear this through official sources, so don't quote me on it. And people are like, how could you sell out? How could you sell out? But it's like, no, now I'm more interested to hear about her story.
Yeah.
I'm more interested to watch her comedy special. So maybe a lot of this was just press for the comedy special, which is good. Like, good for you. But people were so offended on her behalf. And she went out publicly and was like, I thought it was funny. I thought I had a great time.
Yeah, we should have watched she did go on Shane Gillis's podcast and talked about it. It did seem very interesting. It seemed a lot more interesting than Chelsea Handler making the rounds, being like, we should all be offended.
It's so funny because my Instagram feed is people being like, yo, Chelsea Handler was awesome. She did her thing. And then I go to like Too Lazy and he's like, Chelsea Handler embarrassed herself. But it is like, so do you want to exclude black people from these activities? Because I notice you and your business partner is a black man.
Yes.
And he'll let you know.
He'll never shut up about it.
It's like, Brendan, we can see. We can see you. We know you're a black man, but that's fine. And it's funny that you guys like get to razz each other, because I remember one time he called, because he calls every single day to keep in touch.
Yeah.
That's why your business works. He called.
And I call him.
And
He's
you call
my
him.
platonic life partner. That's what I call him.
is.
And he hates it when I say that in business meetings, but it seems to be charming.
Yeah. And you were like eating lasagna and watching Sopranos. And he was like, are you eating lasagna and watching Sopranos right now? Because that's what I think that you're doing all of the time.
He said, are you eating pizza and watching Sopranos? And I was like, no. we're eating lasagna and watching Sopranos.
Which is what Italians do.
Yeah, of course.
All day, when you're not seeing your Italian friend, what he is doing is eating like pasta with red sauce and
Yes.
watching The Sopranos.
Yes.
'Cause that's what they get up to. And it's just funny that you guys can razz each other like that, because it's like, well, what are you doing? Eating fried chicken, watching The Wire? And it's like,
Yeah,
Shut up.
it's funny.
shut up, maybe I am. And so what if I am eating fried chicken and watching The Wire? Yeah, it's like you can make fun of each other, but I don't know where these people live in their bubbles. Maybe they don't have friends, like real friends of other races that they
Yeah.
can just bust balls.
Well, because this is super niche, but there's a comedian named Kevin Barnett. Kevin Barnett,
Yeah.
Bird Luger from, he was in the last podcast, Creek in the Cave, like comedy scene, and he was on the Round Table of Gentlemen, which is like my favorite podcast. You cannot recommend to people because it is extremely offensive.
It was fine
to
in 2010.
everyone.
It was
The
fine in 2010.
We hit a pocket of discourse in America between like 2005, 6, and like 2012 to 2015, where like Patrice O'Neill talks about this all the time. Well, he did before he died.
Before he died, of course.
But the
CIA got him because he was being too real.
there was nothing more beautiful than two people of completely different races making fun of each other of the stereotypes of their race
Yeah.
in a kitchen at a restaurant. It was peak America.
You had to be close.
Yes.
You had to be close to another person to do that. But yeah, you did. It was part of your friendship.
And it's funny.
Yeah.
And it's fun. And that's especially like in the podcast world, which is why podcasts got such a bad reputation for being like, oh, it's racist, blah, blah. It's like, no, a lot of the times it's just like my Mexican friend and me, and he's making fun of me for being white. I'm making fun of him for being Mexican, and it's funny.
Yeah.
And it's fun, and it's all in good fun, but it's another example of like the internet opened up to everyone. And it's not for everyone. These were like niche things that like we were moving past race in this country. It felt like it. It really did.
Well, also, the dead baby jokes. You just wanted to be as offensive as possible at that
Yeah,
time.
shocking.
And nobody went and killed a baby.
No.
It was a dead baby joke. We would never hurt a baby.
No.
Yeah, and then the internet came, and then it's just like, if this guy, Dr. Omar, he said, I never heard of Shane Gillis, I never heard of a roast, but I'm going to go on an hour-long diatribe. And it's like, dude, this isn't for you.
Right.
Just let these friends have fun. If she feels offended, then she would say something. I'm sure she would say something to them.
Right.